What is up, everyone? Hope you're having a fantastic day. This is King Kong 9100, and let's talk Toho's World of Godzilla cinematic universe that is in the works after Godzilla vs. Kong. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank all of you guys so much for all the love and support on my latest Godzilla vs. Anguirus animation. It truly means a lot to me, and I put a lot into that thing. So just be sure to check it out if you haven't already. And with that said, let's get down to business. Toho's World of Godzilla. We're going to cover the history of this Toho-verse, as I'll start calling it, what I personally would like to see, and we'll speculate how we may be seeing it. As always, sections are on the player, so if you don't want to hear me rambling, you can skip to another part you may want to see. And now, let us dive right in. So the whole reason I make this video is because, for quite a while now, it has been announced that a new World of Godzilla is in the works. What that is a whole cinematic universe modeled after the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It would be a series of Godzilla films that all take place within a shared cinematic universe. Basically what we've been seeing since the Showa era, the Heisei era, and I guess occasionally with the Millennium era, you know, against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS, and even the Monsterverse. So, yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Toho does have a deal with Legendary that after 2020's, now 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong, that the Godzilla license will be handed over back to Toho so they can start producing their own Godzilla films. Those films in question would be this new series. Involved in the series will be Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and other monsters in Toho's vast library of kaiju. But it's speculated that Toho will renegotiate a deal with Legendary to get more Monsterverse films, while Toho has their own World of Godzilla / Tohoverse films side by side. I assume they would have a Monsterverse film one year and a Toho film another year. There wouldn't be an overlap for obvious reasons, but yeah, this is all fascinating. I would hope they keep the Monsterverse going if Godzilla vs. Kong does well, but for now we know that instead of a sequel to Shin Godzilla, a World of Godzilla cinematic universe along the lines of the MCU is an idea set in stone for the future after GVK. And this is some great news, honestly. I mean, it's an amazing time to be a Godzilla fan. And now let me provide my take on what I would want to see from this World of Godzilla Tohoverse. So let's talk about, hopes and wishes. Firstly, monsters. I would love to see some awesome monsters come back. This could be monsters like King Caesar, and equal to Godzilla Rodan, Anguirus, King Kong, Gamera, and many monsters. I'm gonna go into each one very quickly for you guys, so here's my take. Let's start with Godzilla himself, the titular monster, the king himself, Godzilla. So with Godzilla, I want him to be a monster who has a story arc over multiple films. I would love it if he started out completely evil due to humanity's mistakes of creating him. After a few films and fighting monsters like Mothra and Kong and even Gamera, he eventually becomes an anti-hero like Monsterverse Godzilla, and he allows humanity to exist. He now understands how to keep balance, which he didn't previously understand since he was created by humans and does not belong in the natural order. He will eventually become good guy Goji after a few more films, but this connection with humanity will be severed when humans manage to nuke Godzilla yet again. He becomes more powerful, but very scarred like Shin Godzilla, and completely vicious again. Then we would have to get some kind of arc where all the good monsters have to take Godzilla down. They might not even manage until one of his close allies like Kong or Anguirus gets Godzilla to remember them and what they've been through. Godzilla walks away, he shows forgiveness, which is something you never really expected him to do. You see, a plot like this would be amazing. Really give Godzilla character, humanity, emotions, feelings, and depth. I also want to see this Godzilla be more of a thinker. A lot of Godzilla movies just grant Godzilla power-ups whenever the plot suits it, and that is a quality I absolutely despise in the franchise. I want to see Godzilla give it his all in the battle. I want to see him learn and get out of tough situations entirely on his own by thinking and by using his attributes he already has, like brute strength and his atomic breath, to his advantage. I don't think we've ever really seen something like that so far. Godzilla can get power-ups later in the series, but I would want it to be from something like nukes or anything he could harness into power like radiation only. Keep it to a minimum, maybe once or twice throughout the entire series. Continue his story as well. Have him finally encounter another of his kind like Godzilla Jr. and, just show how much that changes him. I want to see this Godzilla grow from a fighter to a father, show the lengths he would go to actually protect his young, and then just give us that Space Godzilla or Destroyer, you know, the monster that truly breaks Godzilla down. Godzilla's Negan, Godzilla's Thanos. A monster that kills a close ally or friend of Godzilla, one that viciously beats Godzilla into the ground. Get Godzilla and the Earth Defenders at a huge all-time low, and then have him be the one to find it in himself to bring everyone back on track. They could do a lot with Godzilla's character, and I think it would be awesome if they went about this way of showing Godzilla off and how he evolves as a true character with development and emotions. I want them to really try and build continuity, but also try and build Godzilla as a character. Have him lose a couple of fights, regroup, and come back way more prepared. Play on his emotions with his son, you know, with Godzilla being the last and first of his kind, how he treats other monsters before and after a battle, and give us less random power-ups and more of him outsmarting his opponents, like I just said. I have marathoned all the Godzilla films a few times now, and the most recurring issue I see is that he keeps being granted plot powers rather than actually earning a fight for himself. So yeah, for once I want to see him try to outsmart another tough opponent and use his strength and abilities to his advantage. Really play on his sentience as well. Have that big bad that just completely crushes Godzilla and the other Earth Defenders, really break Godzilla down, and then have him be the one to come back and prove he's the king of the monsters. Going into further monsters in depth, I would love to see a modern Showa 1962/1976 King Kong amalgamation design. Toho has always wanted to use King Kong in their films. Ideas have been shot down since literally the year after King Kong vs. Godzilla came out in 1962. So seeing Toho finally able to use King Kong in a Godzilla cinematic universe would be awesome. Could Toho use King Kong? Well, from what I've gathered, Toho cannot use the name King Kong until around the year 2028 or so, since that is when King Kong enters public domain, which he currently is not in. They also cannot use the classic story of Beauty Killed the Beast. This is why Legendary is using Kong and straying away from that story. Toho could do what Legendary is doing and just call the monster Kong, which is the monster from the novel and is in public domain. They can use Kong in the universe, and by 2028 when the RKO brand name King Kong comes into public domain, they could have a storyline where he fights Godzilla again and earns the title of King alongside Godzilla. So then Kong would become King Kong. That would be great to see. I would like to see King Kong and Godzilla have a very special bond in this universe, going from enemies to allies. King Kong and Mothra, or Rodan, or King Caesar would be an awesome dynamic to see brought to screen. I would also love to see if Toho could acquire the rights from Dai to get Gamera into their Tohoverse. I've only seen the Heisei Gamera trilogy, and I absolutely adore it. If we could get Gamera into this universe, he could play a huge role. Seeing him interact with Godzilla would also be insane. I would love it if they painted out Godzilla, King Kong, and Gamera to be the big three, the true Holy Trinity. This universe's equivalent of Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. I mean, just thinking about Gamera and the world of Godzilla is freaking awesome, you know what I mean? Now, one of the biggest parts of the franchise is the visuals. Do we want Suitmation or CGI? This is a really tough one. Shin Godzilla has proven that Japan has mastered CGI and made it look convincing. Everybody wondered if Shin Godzilla was Suitmation or CGI, so the fact that it was CGI was a total mind blower. So that is a plus on the CG side. But with Suitmation, if we look at what the Heisei Gamera trilogy accomplished in the mid-1990s, they film from human angles, they use compositing to their advantage to really bring out scale, and they do uphold the sense of quality with their suits and special effects. I think with the advances in technology, they could make some awesome suits, but I would rather they utilize motion capture suits on CGI characters. This is because we know that they can make convincing CGI, and suits do limit the actors' movements and how monsters could move or act. So I think they can take time with their visuals and truly make it look awesome. My definitive answer is CGI, use motion capture to make the monsters look and move in a more realistic manner with character, use compositing and shot assembly much like the Heisei Gamera trilogy to bring out the sense of scale with the monsters, Mix it up with miniatures. This is something King Kong 2005 did, which is a VFX marvel, and even Shin Godzilla did this. And use some nice cinematography like good lighting and color grading, while not overdoing it like King of the Monsters did. In terms of monster action, I would not shy away from this. Really give us some good monster fights. I want to see hand-to-hand combat, less of the wonky hugging that most Godzilla movies have, and more of the clawing and slashing. I want each monster to have their own special moveset and particular ways of fighting. Godzilla has clawing and slashing while also being a brawler who punches, uses his powerful bite, and uses his tail a lot while also sparingly using his atomic breath. Anguirus could use his spiky shell more, as well as agility and dexterity, and even the club at the end of his tail. King Kong uses his biting, his sharp nails to scratch, his extremely powerful punches as his main weapons, while also using his speed, agility, and intelligence. Mothra uses her silk attacks and her brute force. Rodan uses wind attacks and his sharp pecks from that powerful beak. King Caesar uses his dexterity and his martial arts skill while also being able to deflect beams. Just things like that, you know, really show that these monsters are unique to each their own. As for themes, I would not be afraid to explore different themes of each character. Godzilla and King Kong are humanity's mistakes to protectors. Other themes of the universe could involve important pressing issues like environmental issues, political issues, animal abuse issues, really anything important. It shouldn't take the forefront, but it should still be there in the background. Explore new themes and old themes, and really emphasize character and world building while maintaining that sense of focus within each film. Have nods to other films or future films, do set up for future films, but make it subtle. Have each film feel contained and almost like it could be a standalone while also being a sequel. And that is it from me, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please write down in the comments what you would like to see from Toho's World of Godzilla cinematic universe, and drop a like and a sub if you enjoyed the video. More videos to come. I just wanted to quickly announce, consistency is one thing I am trying to get better at, so stay on the lookout for more videos. And once again, thank you all so much for the love and support on my latest animation. It truly means a lot to me, and seriously guys, thank you so much. I'm taking into account all of the criticisms of that video, and I promise you guys, I'm gonna make some great stuff with that in mind. A lot of you are asking about my next few projects, and you know, I've been commenting here and there on what they are, but I haven't really given a definitive answer in video form. And that is something I want to do right here and now. So I can say with confidence that my next few projects will be comic recreations. More specifically, the IDW Godzilla Rulers of Earth battles. These 3 issues you see on the screen. I'm going to recreate these issues in my little 3D movie form from left to right. I have the 3D model for this new Godzilla design being commissioned by a very talented artist. So until that is done, I'm just going to be, taking it slow with these awesome discussion videos. And believe me, there is a ton of discussion videos I have in the works based on both King Kong and Godzilla. So I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.